Welcome, soul visionaries and potential soul visionaries. I'm your host, Sherrod Cohen, and you are now rocking with the Soul Vision Powercast, a place where we keep it unfiltered and raw. We talk about anything from porn to politics. We'll even talk about that shit you might have heard or even saw. Now, today we're going to talk about 15 signs of loneliness in a relationship and how to deal with it. Let's kick it. Today, we're going to address 15 signs of loneliness in a relationship and how to deal with it. This article is by Rachel Pace, and she's a blogger. This article was written, this article will be in the description. So if you want to read it for yourself, it'll be in the description. And this is from marriage.com. And she says, you may think that having a partner who you spend time with the most will solve the problem of loneliness. However, you may be surprised to realize that many people may end up feeling lonely in a relationship as well. That person could be you or your partner. Feeling lonely in a relationship is a sign of trouble. You can either be in a stale or toxic relationship. The signs of loneliness in a relationship may not always be visible. Also, there are plenty of reasons why someone would feel lonely in a relationship. It could be stress from other factors, or your partner is not helping alleviate it. You could also be living in a loveless partnership and just going through the motions of your daily life without fun, romance, or meaning. What loneliness in relationships mean. A lot of times, man, and I haven't even read the article. I like to look at these articles. I like to organically respond to these articles. And a lot of times I believe a lot of this loneliness is just simply due to the fact that, people are marrying folks or getting in a relationship with folks because either they have a lot of material stuff, material wealth, or, they just feel like they need somebody. They're not really attracted to the person. They really don't have a great conversation with them. It's just, I'm just doing it just to be doing something. And if you really cared about yourself, as we say we do, man, we'll start basing our compatibility not off currency, but off character, their content, and things of that nature, our ability to communicate. So we gotta, unfortunately, a lot of us need to start picking better when it comes to relationships. Now, what loneliness in relationships means. Why do I feel lonely? I have a partner, but why do I feel alone? All of us can feel lonely once in a while, whether we are in a relationship or not. However, one must not confuse being alone with being lonely. Feeling lonely has little to do with the fact that you have a partner or not. Some people may not feel lonely even when they are not in a romantic relationship. On the other hand, others feel lonely even when they are in a long-term relationship with someone. So, what does it mean to feel lonely in a relationship? You do not feel lonely in a relationship if your partner is not constantly physically around you all the time. You feel lonely in a relationship when you feel that your partner is not heard or not valued. A person can start feeling lonely when their partner is physically present but is mentally absent. One can start feeling lonely in a relationship when they feel that their presence or absence has little effect on their partner. If two people cannot speak to each other about their feelings, fears, and thoughts, they may feel lonely in the relationship. If you can't be vulnerable with your partner, man, it's either get out or get some help. All these feelings of loneliness are valid, and there are so many examples of loneliness in a relationship depending on the cause of these feelings. The main causes of loneliness in relationships. Feeling alone in a relationship can be caused by many factors. It's complicated and it's painful. You first have to identify why you are feeling alone in a relationship. Is your partner the root cause, or is there a lack of support that's leaving you feeling neglected? Here are the top causes of feeling loneliness in relationships. Number one, codependency. This happens when one partner is too needy and the other allows themselves to be abused to fulfill their obligations. It's okay to support and take care of your partner. However, when it becomes excessive, you will lose your individuality in the process. You will start to feel the signs of loneliness in a relationship, and you may also feel trapped. Now, what I say when I used to do weddings. So when I used to hear the vows, and I used to hear a pastor says, this ring, it's a circle and all it represents you all becoming one. You don't become one as in one unit. You become a team that works together interdependently. And you still have your own individual likes and dislikes, your own individual hobbies. Don't give up everything that you were doing, before the marriage while you're in the marriage. I mean, you may have to cut down on doing some of these things so much, but don't lose who you are inside of your marriage or your relationship. Number two, narcissistic controlling partner. It's when one partner uses blackmail, abuse, lies, and even violence to control their partner. One of the top causes of loneliness in marriage is realizing that they are married to a narcissist. There is no true happiness in this type of relationship because no matter what you do or how hard you try, a narcissist won't love anyone. The negative partner, number three, the negative partner. One partner is pessimistic about everything and resorts to substance abuse as an escape mechanism. They blame the world, their spouse, everyone else, including the mailman, for their predicament. Even if you love this person and try your best to help your partner, this can lead to being alone in a relationship. Your partner is present, but too occupied with their negative thoughts, needs, substance abuse, and so much more. In the end, this can lead to codependency or just the feeling of being alone in your battle. Man, I've dealt with women that although you're in this relationship with them, man, it's always men do this, men do that. The men I dealt with, and it's like, damn. Number 4, trapped in a loveless relationship. Are you like robots? Going through the same dull routine day after day, year after year. Even if you sleep in the same bed, there's no meaningful conversation or intimate sex with your partner. Your relationship may have started exciting. Unfortunately, now you find that each day has become dull and uninteresting. You don't share anything in common, and you always get on each other's nerves. No one initiates open communication, and you don't even have the same goals in life. Anyone would feel lonely in a relationship in this case. Now, when you have a relationship like this, if you don't have a relationship with communication, the relationship is over with if you're not talking. Everything begins and ends with communication. And when I say begins and ends with communication, your relationship begins with communication. That's how you get to know each other. That's how you ask her out or ask him out on the first date. And it ends when your communication ends. Number 5, you're loving a cheater. You think everything is perfect. You have a beautiful house with a white picket fence. You can pay the bills with some leftovers for Doritos and pedicures, but find out that your partner is always out with someone else. Anyone will start feeling alone in a relationship when their partner is cheating on them. What if it wasn't just a one-time fling? There can be instances that their partners would cheat over and over again. This act of infidelity brings unmeasurable loneliness to their partner. It's easy to imagine being married, but lonely if you are in one of those relationships mentioned above. Most people don't know how to deal with loneliness in such a situation. Infidelity expert and therapist Ty Krager talks about how infidelity changes the cheater. And he has a video that I'll link in the description. Number 6, long distance relationship. A spouse may start feeling lonely in marriage when they are apart for a long time. Long distance relationships are one of the most common reasons why this happens. The reality is, being away from your partner can cause psychological effects of living alone. Number 7, health problems or issues. Life is full of surprises, and sadly, some of these include sickness or diseases that cause feelings of loneliness in marriage. It may be because your spouse or partner has been diagnosed with a chronic illness or battling cancer. Whew, wow. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like when you're dealing with somebody like a sick parent or this and that and the other, I mean, that can take a toll on you, like later on. And it's just one of those things where if you don't get any help, you could feel overwhelmed. Okay. Now these were just the 7. They were 7. I said 15, but these are the main causes of loneliness in marriage. So those 7 things are the main causes of loneliness in a relationship, rather. Now, the 15 signs of loneliness in a relationship that you need to know. And pay attention to these because, you might be in a relationship where your partner is feeling lonely, and maybe this might help you see it, because a lot of times they won't tell you. They don't communicate. Y'all communication is off. Number 1, you don't long for each other anymore. Do you still remember when your partner goes out for a couple hours and you already want to call them? When you see each other, it's like you haven't seen each other in months. It's too cheesy. It sounds too cheesy. But when you're in love, that's how it is. Now, that feeling has faded away. You don't feel that intense excitement and desire to kiss each other. It makes you feel alone and lonely. Number 2, you don't see each other that often. What is loneliness in a relationship? It's when you're married or living together, yet you seem alone in your home. You don't see each other that often. You're too busy, or one of you will go home very late and the other leaves early. And then it's like when y'all working on like opposite shifts, say this person is working on midnights, this person is working on days. So when this person is coming, this person is leaving. And then it just becomes normal to just not see each other. That's where you got to watch out for those work husbands and work wives. Number 3, you no longer have deep conversations. One of the signs of loneliness in a relationship is when you can't even talk to your partner. Before you can talk for hours and you can talk talk about anything under the sun. Those were the days when you understood everything about each other. Now, you can't even remember the last time you sat down and talked. There's always a reason not to talk, leaving you feeling sad and lonely. Communication. Number 4, both of you would rather commit to other plans. When the two of you are busy, you start to live different lives. When you don't make an effort to bond like before, chances are you'd feel lonely. Soon you might notice that you would choose to commit to other plans like going out with friends rather than staying home. Number 5, you feel the coldness in your relationship. Have you ever felt that you try to become close to your partner, but this person doesn't reciprocate? You may spend the weekend together, but you feel something different. Man. Wow. And being that I was, in a relationship, being that I was married, I can see a lot of this that was in our marriage. I was young, probably should never have been married in the first place, but when you have children, you try to do the best that you think, you try to do what you think is best, right? Listening to other people. That's another story for another day. Number 6, you don't feel that your partner wants you. This feeling is common for couples experiencing abuse or codependency. You start feeling that your partner doesn't want you, but only needs you. There's a huge difference between feeling love and being in a relationship because it's convenient for the other person. Number 7, you don't make love anymore. Making love and having sex is not the same. Unfortunately, one of the signs of loneliness in a relationship is when you do have sex, but you don't make love. It's an empty feeling. You're just doing it to satisfy carnal desires, but the intimacy and connection are no longer there. Number 8, you start having different interests. After a few years, you may find yourself and your partner starting to drift apart and spending time on your new interests. It's common for people who are incompatible with each other. You may find yourself wondering how you can stop feeling alone in your relationship. And that's what I said earlier. People are starting to, like I've heard a lot of women say, the next time I get married, I'm going to marry for money and not love. Excuse me. And those are the main women that's out there complaining about, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. He wasn't going to do those things anyway because you never loved him for who he was in the first place. And as a matter of fact, you never got a chance to know him because all you wanted was money. Bam. Number 9, both of you are more focused on your screen. Oh, you having dinner, but you're both busy looking at your phone. You're together all week, every weekend, but you're busy watching different shows. Soon it's Monday again, and you're off with your busy schedule. There's no time for bonding, communication, and intimacy. These things right here, man, allow folks too much access to you. You have to learn how to put this thing down when you're with your partner. Now, I can understand picking your phone up and say, hey, let me show you something. Boom, 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 boom. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. But when this starts getting in the way of intimate moments, just chilling, watching TV together, dinner, y'all fucking up. Number 10, you don't ask about each other. You want to know how to overcome loneliness in a relationship, but how can you do that when you can't check on your partner anymore? You try to ask your partner about their day, but you only get a one-word answer or maybe no answer at all. It's like you're together physically, but that's it. For abusive and codependent relationships, you may start feeling that no one cares about you at all. You're drained and empty, fulfilling your partner's desires, but not your own. You know, people got to start learning how to speak up. Now, in the case where it's domestic violence, that may be something hard to do. You got to find some way to get out of a domestic violence situation. You have to, you know, just for your health, your children's health, shit, your safety. Number 11, your needs and wants are no longer met. Every couple in a healthy relationship will do their best to meet each other's needs and wants without sacrificing their own. When there's loneliness in a relationship, one or both may no longer meet each other's wants or needs. We're talking about food, shelter, safety, intimacy, love, and so much more. Y'all doing everything separate. You know, what they say, I got to get mine, you got to get yours. You know, breed and pock in a day. All right, number 12, there's infidelity and betrayal. When you're dealing with betrayal and infidelity, who wouldn't feel alone and lonely? How can you deal with the fact that your partner is cheating and betraying you? How can you deal with loneliness when you're the only one trying? Wow. Number 13, you may develop deep isolation. Another sign of loneliness in a relationship is when you've lost hope and start choosing isolation. You start losing interest in your daily activities and socialization. You start distancing yourself from your family and friends. People dealing with abuse, codependency, and toxic relationships can often succumb to loneliness. Number 14, you notice changes in your eating pattern or health. People who have been too strong can feel lonely. The signs of loneliness in a relationship can manifest in eating disorders. Some people binge eat and some lose their appetites. But both of these can cause health issues or health problems that can also affect your daily activities. When you gain too much weight, you don't have the energy or the strength to move around, to do things, to get out and just do regular activities. Excuse me. And even if you don't eat enough, that can lead you to not having enough energy and enough strength to get up and go about your day and do things for yourself. Number 15, you notice changes in your hygiene. Being alone in relationships can take its toll. Some signs can show by not being interested in everything, even themselves. They no longer wish to look good and feel good. Some people refuse to clean themselves and even look at themselves in the mirror. They would lose the spark and the light that makes them happy. Do we all feel alone in relationships? Yes. Anyone can have feelings of loneliness. It's normal to experience this feeling along with other strong emotions. If you think you are feeling alone and lonely in your relationship or marriage, it's time to dig deeper into what causes this feeling. It's time to understand the different signs of loneliness in a relationship. Once you have addressed the cause and the signs, then it's time to know the different ways to cope with this feeling. Let's start by understanding emotional intimacy and how it affects one's relationships. How to develop emotional intimacy to fight loneliness. Emotional intimacy is a beautiful way of strengthening your relationship. You can describe emotional intimacy as the feeling of connecting to your partner. It is when you can express your feelings and thoughts. You also allow yourself to open up and trust completely. Emotional intimacy develops easier than most people believe. However, if you allow it, it does take a lot of time. The feeling of loneliness stems from a lack of emotional intimacy. When you feel there's nobody to turn to and confide in your problems, then that's when someone starts to feel alone. People feel alone when they have nobody to share good and bad times with. They have to trust the person enough to talk about their real feelings without awkwardness and fears of judgment. It's becoming vulnerable, just opening yourself up, man, just letting it all out. But in this day and time, a lot of times people will use that very vulnerability against you to hurt you. So you got to be careful. Finding someone to share your deepest thoughts without inhibitions and connecting with them is the only solution to loneliness. It needs to be a two-way street. You have to be so comfortable with each other that you share each other's dirty laundry. Excuse me. If you are lonely in marriage, that means you don't have the emotional intimacy expectations with your spouse that you should have. Either your spouse is the source of your problems or they are too emotionally distant to make a connection. The first case is more complicated. That's why a lot of people turn to others instead. If you want to connect with your partner, you have to reconnect with them through romance. If you are married or in a relationship with the person, you at least had some chemistry in the past. Find time to reestablish a romantic connection with your spouse. It won't happen unless you resolve the underlying problems in your relationship. Challenging them together can make your relationship stronger. And what I found is, man, once you sit down and listen to your partner, and I'm not just talking about just, listening to respond. I'm talking about listening and really hearing what they're saying. And not only, using empathetic listening skills, putting yourself in their shoes, just actively listening. So when they say something to you, you can actually say it back because you're listening to them so that you can get clarification and things of that nature. You have to learn how to listen to your folk to the point where whenever they feel any type of anything, they know they can come to you. Loneliness in a relationship has a lot to do with how the couple interacts. If you rely on each other and share your success, you won't feel alone. Sometimes you need to work harder to bring back your emotional connection with each other. But sometimes this shit is worth it. You feel me? It sounds trivial, but most couples neglect it and forget that emotional intimacy and connection are simply a deep form of two-way trust. And studies show that without trust, any form of relationship will fail. So trust your partner. Make sure to be someone worthy of your partner's trust in return. 15 ways to cope with that loneliness in a relationship. Number 1, don't stop dating your partner. Don't stop dating your partner. Man, still look at your partner with those flirty eyes, smacking her on the ass or, keep that spark alive. Number 1, don't stop dating your partner. You don't have to break up. Instead, try to date each other again. You have to try and make time for each other. It may be hard at first, but it's not impossible. The key here is time. You have to have the perfect timing to start doing this again. Both of you also have to make time for each other and, of course, enjoy your time together. Remember, don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed if it doesn't go perfectly. If she or he is worth having, it's worth working. It's worth putting towards an effort. Try that shit until y'all get it right. Confide all your problems. It's understandable to feel that it's hard to start a conversation, but that doesn't mean you have to stop. Don't talk about your problems right away or start the conversation with crying and resentment. This is one common reason why other couples find talking uninteresting. Talk about something that will make the both of you smile or bring up a topic that can help you unwind. Remember, start your conversation with positive and lighter notes. Don't hit them with the heavy, well, you know what you did back. Nope. Hey, just build it up. Build it up to the point where you all are just chit-chatting on a regular basis. You all are able to just be vocal with one another. Just talk about, man, hell, talk about a glass of water, whatever it is. Get that shit going to the point where you can build up to the issues that you're having. You know what I'm saying? Don't just drop the bomb automatically, just right off the rip. Number 3, practice self-care. When you feel signs of loneliness in a relationship, this is times when you need to take extra care of yourself. Self-care is essential, especially when you are feeling down and lonely. Start by exercising, eating healthy, home-cooked meals, sleeping 8 hours a day, and doing something that will make you happy. Remember, while your partner can make you happy, you should also learn to be happy on your own too. And yeah, your partner can make you happy by doing some things, but happiness is something that we innately have. We have peace. We have love. We have all those things inside of us. And the only thing it will cost is you letting go of all the bullshit that's in the way of those things. That's it. Number 4, do some damn chores together. You know, your partner may do chores and you might do the same. Why not try joining your partner so you can have time together? If he's painting the garage, join him and strike a conversation. You might start enjoying the things that you're both doing. Remember, keep everything light. Have some fun. Number 5, go on family day trips. Another way of how to overcome loneliness in a relationship is to try and go out. If it would be better to plan a family day trip with your families. Scheduling this might be challenging, but you can make it happen. Remember, if your partner doesn't want to join, still enjoy the reunion or family event. Man, even if it's just y'all, sometimes it just need to be just y'all. Man, go to the store, go hang out. Go hang out at each other's favorite store. And just be open to being there. You see what I'm saying? One day you might go to her favorite stores for the day. And one day you may go to his favorite place for the day. Don't complain. Just enjoy them enjoying the world they truly want to be in. For the man, it might be automotive, electronics, and this and the other. For the woman, it may be clothing and shoes and all the purses. Whatever it is, learn to enjoy it with them. Number 6 is talk about your day. You go home and you notice that you're both busy with your phone. Break this habit. Initiate a conversation with your partner. Ask about your partner's day, and then when it's your turn, share details about how your day went. This could be a start of a good conversation. Remember, the energy you are showing is contagious, so be bubbly and start being happy. Number 7, listen to your partner. When you start opening up with each other, even if you're excited about the fact that you are connecting again, please listen to your partner. It's easy to get disappointed if your partner is not paying attention, so don't make your partner feel this way. Remember, if you're interested in listening, your communication will improve. Number 8, discuss your future. One cause of loneliness in a person's relationship is when you feel uncertain about your future. Don't assume that your partner doesn't care. Maybe your spouse doesn't know what you need. There's a chance that this person doesn't have a clue about what you want. Feel free to open up and talk about your future. You might be surprised by your partner's reaction. Remember, Your partner can't read your mind. Your partner wouldn't know if you're already expecting something. So talk about it when you need to. Number 9, keep your promise. Even if you feel that you've drifted apart, don't forget about your vows and promises. Not unless you are being abused. Don't give up that easily. Relationships are all about commitment. And when the time comes that you're facing challenges and you feel lonely, this is the time when you need to try harder. Remember, a little more effort won't hurt. See, here's another thing. You hear a lot of women saying this, more so than men. But women look at men as just disposable. Soon as unhappiness creeps in, soon as something's not working right, just get rid of them. Find another one. You know, I'm looking at the Tia Mowry chick, and she talking about happiness and this and that and the other. And it's like, man, you done built a life with this man, have children with this man. You say that he's cool, this and that and the other. Now, if you just want to get rid of him, just to get rid of him, that's fine. But remember this, divorce is not a graduation, it's a failure. Divorce is not a graduation, it's a failure. Number 10, reminisce about your past. Once you've started talking with each other again, you can reminisce about your past. Sometimes we forget how deeply in love we are. With these memories, you'll see that you've drifted apart. And this can help you realize that the both of you should work together. Remember, bring out that old album or print some old photos and share some stories. Or, man, start playing that old music, man, that got y'all in the mood to laugh and joke and kiss and hug and dance with each other, man. Number 11, try couples therapy. If you feel that you can't deal with loneliness, it's time to seek professional help. There may be underlying triggers or issues that need to be addressed for you to work things out. Remember, you don't have to be afraid. Your professional therapist can help you work on your relationship without judging you. Number 12, adopt a pet. Are you tired of all the signs of loneliness in a relationship? Adopt a pet. You can get a dog, a cat, a rabbit. Pets can give you so much love and can help you with what you are going through. Remember, try going to shelters and rescue pets. These animals need your love, and they are willing to give you unconditional love back. Number 13, reach out to your family and friends. You know, you don't have to feel alone. Sometimes, instead of choosing to distance yourself from the people that love you, it's better to allow them in. Their presence can lessen the hurt and the loneliness. Remember, allow the people you trust into your life. They would help you get through your challenges. Number 14, develop a new hobby. Instead of focusing on the things that make you sad, try out a new hobby. Keep yourself busy. Don't ever allow the loneliness to devour your whole. You're better than that. There can be many ways to keep yourself busy, and getting a new hobby would be fun. Remember, our ultimate goal is to reconnect with your partner, but your happiness shouldn't depend on your partner alone. Number 15, try meditation or yoga. If you feel alone and lonely, make time for yourself. Try yoga and meditate. It can help you relax and be mindful. By doing yoga and meditating, you can get in touch with yourself. By doing so, you can take care of yourself and practice self-compassion. Remember, focus on yourself first. The conclusion to this is, at some point in our lives, we'll all feel lonely. We can't avoid negative feelings, but we can do something about it. If you show signs of loneliness in a relationship, and it is an abusive one, then it's time to seek immediate help. In case your relationship isn't toxic or abusive, then maybe you just need to work a little harder to bring back the spark of your love. Focus on yourself and your relationship. Don't let the feeling of loneliness drag you to solitude and unhappiness. You can be happy on your own. And once you learn that, you can share that happiness with your partner. Hey man, it's so many things that you can look at in this, and then we've all felt this before, man. We've all felt lonely in relationships and things of that nature, and they said, like they said, anything other than abuse or that's going to endanger your life or whatever, it's worth that little bit of effort, man. It's a little bit more effort to make it work. If you truly love somebody, you will do whatever it takes to make it work. Hey, like usual, hit that like button for me if you like the video. If you're not a soul visionary, hit the subscribe button. Let's get these subscriptions up, man. Let's build this channel. If you liked it and you share and you subscribe, hey, share the content. Let's get this out. This might help somebody out here. And you know what? Hit that notification bell so just in case I drop another video, or not just in case, when I drop another video, you'll be notified. Thanks for your time. Peace.